this one.
That would be, still need to do that for a holiday card or something. So you want like super professional, or do you like?
Basically how we've been. Oh, those don't go well either.
Yeah, right. We should probably raise the bar here somewhere.
Just go.
Is that what we do?
I think you just go.
I think we just do it.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to our first ever edition of Fireside Chat. It's first edition. We haven't done it before, Tate, so if we screw this up, we never get to do it again.
Yeah, I was told we had to follow this guide here, but I have been drinking, so we will see how that goes.
So I'm Mike.
I'm Tate. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry Festivus to the rest of us.
Correct, yeah. So I guess in the spirit of the holiday season, we kind of wrapped up the whole year. nVision's over, which is our big annual technology conference. So I thought it'd be fun to pull up some chairs and just kind of chat about how it went and how the year went.
I like it. Good idea.
Thank you. Came up with it by myself. There was no input from anyone else.
That makes sense. So what we have here is I have a Mistletoe Martini, and Tate has a cinnamon old fashioned with homemade cinnamon and chive simple syrup. The recipes will be in the newsletter if you care to partake.
And it's quite smooth, like 10 out of 10.
Excellent.
Mike, you had a presentation at nVision that was specifically kind of discussing how smaller to medium-sized businesses are handling these cyber attacks and how you think they might be prepared for that. You want to kind of elaborate what that presentation was on in that state?
Yeah, so last couple of years we've done two presentations, 2 years in a row about like a choose your own adventure. At you're presented with something, and it's kind of a simple A/B. Like, do you want to call the knock or do you want to investigate on your own? And kind of went down a path, and you can kind of see how action or inaction lead to different results in a cyber incident. This year, we decided to take a step back and share information with folks that have no idea what a cyber incident looks like. Hopefully, they've never seen one, and to kind of talk about what it is and what it isn't, because a lot of people, I think, expect that if they have cybersecurity insurance, that they can pick up the phone and they can call us, or they can call their cybersecurity insurance, and somebody hops off out of a plane and immediately starts working on things and doing that. And it's just really not the case. It's not how things work. There's agreements to sign, and there's different things to get in place. There's things you can do while you're waiting for some of that, but at some point in time, you have to let your cybersecurity insurance provider and legal counsel and the IR team run with that, because they're the experts, and we kind of have to take a step back. We're the hands for all of that kind of stuff. So getting all that in line, especially if you haven't done those types of things before, wanted to share that information, kind of what it looks like, shared some stories about real things that we've seen happen in cyber incidents. So just like sharing that information so everybody has a better idea and be more prepared in case that kind of thing happens to them.
Yeah, last year was my very first nVision, and I remember going to the Choose Your Own Adventure, and it makes it fun. And so especially for people who haven't been in an incident, it's kind of a fun way to experience it and go through that. Unfortunately, I had to be a part of a few incidents this year, and really quickly you realize how much of more of a human aspect a cyber event can be than just a technology aspect, as in people have to sit and wait for the IR team to be established. And so there's that time period where you're just kind of sitting there and waiting, and that gets very stressful, and you can see the emotional hit on, the C-suite and the owners as this incident is partaking, and they just are told to kind of wait. What are things that you're noticing, or kind of what we're offering to help better in those circumstances, to be prepared for those moments?
It always starts with your fundamentals, your foundation. You need to have a good backup strategy. If you don't have good backups, it doesn't matter how good your cybersecurity insurance is. You're basically stuck with starting over or paying a ransom, and both those options are not desirable. Having a good idea of what assets you have and making sure your assets are patched and up to date. Trying to minimize your footprint. Everybody has technical debt. Somebody has a 2012 or 2008 server sitting around running one thing, but trying to isolate that, trying to work on having a plan to get rid of it, making sure your firewalls are up to date. Those types of things are really good things that start a good foundation. And we could sell you any number of tools. A SKU doesn't provide security at the end of the day. If it's mismanaged, or if it's not on all your workstations, or if an alert goes off and nobody catches it, pays attention to it, like those types of things are great. There's a lot of different services that we've been involved with. We resell that absolutely save organizations if there's a security incident, but that service and an environment where you don't know how many endpoints you have or where they're at, or they're non-supportable operating systems, or they haven't been patched in years and years, that makes it, okay, we know a lot of things, but we have all this work we have to do to secure the environment while we're figuring things out. Working towards, from both directions, to a better security space is definitely something that I think everybody should work on.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. In one of my presentations, I kind of slightly touched base on that shadow IT, that asset management, and how crucial that is, because a lot of organizations may not have that simple checkbox done where they know every single computer and every single device that's connecting to their data. So I think that those fundamentals are very important.
So, do you think artificial intelligence ends up helping technicians and business leaders in their cybersecurity efforts, or does it just create new problems?
So I'm going to have a hot take on this. I think AI has wonderful applications when it's using against, data, and maybe you're trying to build, you're trying to take all your data and get information out of it to make it usable. I think AI can take it and filter it way faster than anything that we had before. I think the other technological space of coding's kind of felt this, where we heard the word vibe coding. I've started to see some vibe IT happening, where we have end users, or maybe people that know just a little bit too much, that could be now way more dangerous now that they have AI, because they just take that first prompt that they put in and get that feedback, and they put it into place, and they think they're securing themselves. So I think with the right amount of filtering and knowledge of how to work with the AI, it can be a very, very powerful tool for technicians. It kind of makes Google searching a lot faster, but AI can always hallucinate, and sometimes you are doing things that may not necessarily harm you, but not protecting you the way you think it should be doing.
I agree. I'm the old codger in the group, and I'm concerned about AI misleading people, like you mentioned, into thinking they're more secure than they were, or thinking that they know more than they know. Because I found in all my years, it is easy as a young a junior person in IT, less experienced, to be able to Google something and find an answer and go, hey, I know how to fix this.
Yep.
Well, you saw a symptom and somebody else had posted a fix for it, or you found an article that fixed it for you, but you have no idea the implications of the fix that you've applied.
Yep.
Or if that fix didn't work, or it was dangerous, like it broke something else, you don't understand the fundamental technologies of how to undo what you did, because some changes are permanent.
Yes.
They're tattoos. They're not really undoable. So I worry about that. And AI, in some cases, is just a really fancy Google search that is described to you in words, and a bunch of things put together, and some analysis, and making it easier to read, easier to consume. But at the same time, if you say, hey, make me a security plan to make me secure in 2026, I don't know how you put enough information in it to get something that's truly useful for you as an organization. there are plenty of benefits. We were working on an IR together. We were trying to figure out how to write some CLI commands
Yep.
on a firewall. And I pulled up Visual Studio Code and I was typing some stuff in, and it was starting to offer suggestions on what to type based on what I typed in before. And I'm like, that's really neat
Yeah.
to be able to do that kind of stuff. So that would help any technician or anybody doing that kind of stuff. I have seen false positives. I have seen an alert come in where some information came in. It was fed into an AI engine, and it came back that this was a footprint or an AI fingerprint of a known ransomware vendor. So we started, okay, well, that looks pretty bad. Let's start looking into this. Let's start treating it as an IR and start paying attention to it. And it was what it was. It was a port scan of very specific ports, but it wasn't a ransomware event. It was a internal security scan, looking for default passwords on things. So it presented as that. But if you had just looked at that first thing and you didn't dig into any more that, this customer has this product and this sensor and this is doing those things, then red flags would have went up and an IR would have been called and a lot of money would have been spent to go through that. So there's good and bad on all of it. The bad actors, the hackers and stuff, are using it to write their code. They're using it to write better phishing emails.
Yes.
They're using it to be more efficient on ways to find vulnerabilities and to create more malware. So all that's terrible at the end of the day. But AI is not going away. We need to figure out how to use it responsibly, how to figure out how to use it to make better business decisions. That's like the greatest benefit is feed it into your data, be able to ask a question of how many widgets do I have and how many widgets did I sell this year and how many widgets might I sell next year, and it spits all that stuff out. That's great. That's information from the business side. On the technical side, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag from what I have seen, but I'm definitely no luminary.
And I agree with that. I think, and too, at least on the technical side, the very first AI examples were always marketing and rewriting emails and stuff like in Teams Premium. Those features are really sweet to have, but security for Copilot's just kind of launching publicly now, and I think as time grows, those will get better and better and better and better, and then we can kind of see how it is benefiting us technicians on that security front at the very least.
Yeah, the idea of having an AI agent to help you do threat hunting for security logs, to pull different things out, if it can pull information from threat awareness, sources of information that says these types of attacks have been happening more and more, and feed that information in and rationalize it versus what's being seen, and take a large pool of information and kind of blend it and bring it down to something where a SOC engineer or somebody could make a decision on it.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
I agree. It'd be exciting to see where we lead out with all of that.
So Tate, of all of the products and services and features of anything that's been released or announced or that you got to play with this year, what do you think it was the most interesting, most impactful, most coolest thing that you've liked working with?
Yeah, so like on a security front, we've been doing a lot more application whitelisting with a product called ThreatLocker. The reason why I find that so valuable, especially in all these kind of different environments, is our traditional tools that we're using today, like our AVs, our firewalls, a lot of them are retroactive, meaning that, I have to click on the bad executable or open the bad link and have something start happening for them to notice the behavior and then stop the behavior and stop it from spreading per se. And so you still have to have somewhat of an incident kind of take place. Obviously, if it's like a very well-known signature, it'll block it right off the bat and won't allow it to run. But typically, a lot of our stuff is looking for behavior of, hey, it's starting to encrypt a lot of files. Now let's stop it. So you always will have some sort of incident happen. While with application whitelisting, it allows you to basically set what you're approving and takes that zero trust model to the next level, where basically if a new application comes in or a hash that you've never seen before, we won't even let it allow it to run, stopping it dead in the tracks. And at the very worst, if a person or end user is trying to still activate that executable, they're pushing it to another set of eyes, a manager, or if they're having us do it, we'll take a look at it and validate. Maybe that is an okay app and we can approve it, or hey, this is a bad thing, we got to stop it. Figure out what's going on, where did that come from, and then we can kind of start triaging from there. But overall, it's kind of stopping that attack from even starting, and then we can take it from there. While those older tools, we still have to have some sort of an incident to happen.
Sure. Yeah, I think that is. I thought that one is pretty cool. If I was to choose one, I'll choose two. In most 365 plans, at least the business ones or the M3 or E3 and E5, you have the opportunity to run Microsoft Defender for endpoint, and it's already included in your licensing. So regardless if you love your security tool or not, you can enable this and have it report the telemetry. And if you think about it, who else is going to have the best, cleanest route to telemetry? Somebody installing an agent and starting to hook into Windows to pull that information out, or actually Windows.
For sure.
It doesn't matter what everybody's opinion of like Windows Defender, or Firewall, or antivirus, or whatever it's evolved from over the years. You don't even have to use it for that. Just turning on and collecting that information and having that the visibles and another set of eyes on what's going on at endpoints is really, really eye-opening. And in fact, most of the other services, SOC type services, will actually use that telemetry also as a part of their feed, which is great because it's included in what you have. I think the other really neat thing is the availability. And when I say availability, this feature ability has existed, but the affordability of immutable backups for SMBs, I think is really great. Because if you look at whether it's a cloud provider doing it and just doing it rather inexpensively per terabyte, or on-prem immutability, either with a purpose-built appliance using Veeam's hardened repo and some equipment, that in a little bit of effort gives you an immutable backup. And the idea of it is, if you're not familiar with it, is that I can write a backup and nobody can do anything with it. So what we see a lot of times in IRs is somebody's been in the network long enough to get domain admin credentials to be able to see where all the information is, be able to prep their locker, either on a hypervisor level or to run through file shares if you have physical servers. And then the first thing they do is they'll nuke your backups, so you have nothing to restore from.
Yep.
And then start off the ransomware. And if it's a hypervisor-based one, it takes about 30 seconds and you're toast.
Yeah.
So if you don't have immutable backups, your local backup is gone, and then you're really in a pickle. We have seen an organization that had that happen to them, but they had a cloud backup, and we were able to, it takes a little longer to pull it down, but in a day or so, we were able to start bringing services online from a known good backup. Now you have to vet the you're not going to get reinfected, all that kind of stuff. But like those two technologies are very low cost, take a little bit of effort to set them up, but can really position you to defend yourself. It is not going to necessarily stop anything from happening. Defender would alert you. You'd have to be able to do something about it, but it can save you when something goes wrong. For low cost, I think that's super impactful.
Yeah, no, you mentioned it kind of earlier in the conversation where, it doesn't matter how amazing all your tools are, if the infection happens and you don't have good backups, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So being able to have that immutable backup and just quickly restoring would make most incidents turn really quickly into, hey, we're back to fully operating again. And then you can start putting in more of those security places so you can make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yep.
So given everything that we've gone through, for 2026, what is the one thing a business leader should be shooting for to better prep themselves in a security standpoint in this coming year?
we've talked a bit of it before. It's making and having a plan. You have to have an idea of, do you have cybersecurity insurance? Do you know how to get a hold of them? Do you have a relationship with the people that are involved? Do you get an option to choose your IR team?
Yeah.
Just like any other service in the world, some IR teams are really good and some are average. And the last thing you want, just like going to the doctor, if you need to see a specialist, you want to see the person who graduated from a shady medical school
Right.
abroad. You want the expert. So having a plan with your cybersecurity insurance, knowing how to get a hold of them, seeing if you can choose or pre-choose, find out who's on your list of IR teams, and then vet them and see if you like them, and say, if I call in, I want that team. That really streamlines thing, and then you can kind of reach out to them and prep. What type of information do you need to give them ahead of time? Anything you can do to shorten the gap between, oh crap, and getting somebody in your system to start collecting information, to start triaging, to start doing forensics about what's going on. We can help in the meantime, but as soon as there's an IR, we can't make any system changes,
Yep.
right? We are collection, collect and protect, basically. Information, we don't get to choose anymore because we're not the experts. So we're not being brought in to be paid to be the experts. So finding that type of stuff, figuring out bits of information, financial institutions, I think medical institutions do a pretty good job of, if a bad thing happens, whether it's a ransomware event or not, like power goes off for 3 days and we can't run our systems.
Yeah.
What if payday happens? How can we pay our people? Like,
Yeah.
how do we communicate these types of this stuff out to our customers? Having a communication plan, having an internal communication plan, having a plan of who's going to talk to the news station that's going to call, or your angry customers. Figuring that kind of stuff out too is just part of this overarching large plan. And it started as a disaster plan, but it's specifically for cybersecurity because there's different bits in there. But that making educated decisions about where you spend your money, starting with I don't want to buy this unless I know it's relatively secure to begin with. If I know my equipment is old or my operating systems are old, I have to commit to replacing them. Enforcing MFA. If you have a person in the organizations that I'm not going to install something on my phone to be MFA, see if paying them a stipend or everyone a stipend greases those wheels, because if MFA would have stopped an IR, and bad IRs are thousands and thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
a couple $100 a month is a good investment in your time. So making smart cybersecurity or security-based decisions, weave it into every decision you make, having policies based on if the president of the company messages somebody or even calls them now, because of phishing is a thing, like deep fakes.
Yep.
Somebody calls like, hey, wire somebody this money, here's the information. If it's weird at all, call them back and get a verification. We've seen too many organizations that have lost lots of money because they just trusted that whatever information they got was right, wired money, and now it's gone. So like that's not necessarily cybersecurity, that's just security practices in accounting.
Yep.
Like all of that helps secure your environment in your organization.
100%. As you go through for different security certifications, like a CISP, which you have or whatnot, you learn really quickly that a lot of security practices aren't technical. It is policy and administrative. So being able to have those concepts figured out for your organization and put in play will help prevent a lot of potential misfortune. If I had to pick one thing, I think you touched base earlier when we were talking about the what small and medium-sized businesses could be doing to prepare, is working on the foundationals. I think that is a great place to start, and typically is a low-cost initiative for them to tweak up their foundational. So getting that asset management log and validating like every single asset that is actually using our data, validating things are up to date. It's time consuming, but typically is included in your package or free of your firewall, your switches, and all that fun stuff. So I think if you focus on those and like you were saying, having a good plan of where you're going to allot your money for that future can take you and make you go a very long way. Alrighty. So I already rated my drink 10 out of 10. I'm almost done. You're almost done as well. What would you rate your drink?
Uh, I think it's actually really, really quite good. It's a little sweet and it's tart. 8.5, 9 out of 10. I don't think I could have too many of them, but it's a martini, so you probably shouldn't. But no, it's good. We've had these, as part of this, we've sampled these around the office when I brought the recipes in, and so far everybody has had them, has enjoyed them. So I definitely, if you like this type of thing, I'd definitely give it a try.
Old fashions are typically my drink of choice, so this is better than some of the bars. So kudos. Mike, yours are a barista, I guess, of drinks. So if you enjoyed this conversation and you want to keep in tune with our next ones, we have nVision coming up for 2026. Those dates are already booked. So we'll have a link in the newsletter for you to sign up. And if you like these kind of conversations and you want to see more of them, just give us some feedback, either comment on the video or let your account exec know. And we'd love to produce more of these because we just love kind of sitting down talking and gives us a reason to drink while we're at work. And that's always a benefit. Oh, I'm a bad guy. Take that out. Cut that out.
He slams his old fashioned.
Bam!
I'm out.